Hi, let's talk about multicast delegates and events. If you don't understand what delegates are, I will encourage you to watch my video on delegates before watching this one. I have created a simple console application. In this application, I have created a class called car which has two properties, name and speed. I have created a constructor which takes in name. I have also created a delegate called overspeeding delegate, and I've created an object of this overspeeding delegate called overspeeding. Here you can notice that whenever the speed goes over 60, I'm invoking this overspeeding delegate. Now let me go ahead and create an object of this class car. Car equal to new car. I will call this car as my car. Now let me assign a method to this overspeeding delegate. I'll call this method as log overspeeding. Now instead of writing into an actual log, for simplicity's sake, I will just write a line into a console. Log car is overspeeding. Let me invoke this delegate by setting car speed to 65. Now let me run this program by pressing Ctrl F5. You can see that a message is logged. Let me once again explain how this is working. If you look at our car class, in the speed property, whenever speed is greater than 60, we are invoking this overspeed delegate. And in our main function, we are assigning log overspeeding method to this delegate and setting speed to 65. This will invoke the delegate and the delegate will call this log overspeeding method. Now what if I want to also send an email when the car is overspeeding? I can go ahead and I can assign a new method to our delegate, email overspeeding. I'll just go ahead and copy this line of code here. I'll change the log to email and I'll run this application by pressing Ctrl F5. Now you can see that the delegate has lost reference to this log overspeeding method. You can easily fix this issue by using multicast property of delegates. If you look at the Microsoft documentation, it says that a useful property of delegate object is that multiple objects can be assigned to one delegate by using the plus operator. So let me go ahead and use this plus operator here. Car.overspeeding plus email overspeeding. Now let me go ahead and run this application by pressing Ctrl F5. Now you can see that both log and email methods are called. But the problem with using this multicast delegate is that our car class is not properly encapsulated. It is exposing way too many things to the world. Now any programmer can go ahead and assign our overspeeding delegate to null. Now when I run this application, you can see that our application will crash. Yes, I can go ahead and add a null check to our delegate. If overspeeding is not null, then invoke this delegate. We're not solving any problem here. This is just a workaround. Let me go ahead and run this application now. Control F5 and nothing happens. But we have one more major problem here. Anyone who has access to our car class can invoke the delegate. Let me remove these two lines. Let me call car.overspeeding. If I run this application now, both log and email methods are called, but our car was not overspeeding. We can solve all these issues by converting the delegate into an event. Now, how do we convert this overspeeding delegate into an event? Just by adding event keyword here. Now let us see the definition of an event. Events enable a class to notify other classes when something of interest occurs. The class that sends the event is called publisher, and the classes that receive the event are called subscribers. In our case, car is the publisher and our program class is the subscriber. Now, interesting thing about event is it can only appear on the left hand side of an equation and only with plus equal to or minus equal to operator. So we have few errors here. Let me fix these errors first. Car.overspeeding plus equal to log overspeeding and car.overspeeding plus equal to email overspeeding. Now we cannot access the delegate directly, so let me go ahead and delete this line. Now I can write car.speed equal to 65 again, and let me run this application by pressing Ctrl F5. It works. The null check that we had for our overspeeding delegate still works for our overspeeding event. Let me go ahead and simplify this by using null check operator. If overspeeding is null, then this invoke method will never be called. But we cannot assign null to our overspeeding event. Our overspeeding event can be null only if there are no subscribers. That is, if we don't have these two lines, means there are no subscribers to our overspeeding event, and our overspeeding event will be null. If I hit Ctrl F5 now, you can see nothing happens. In this example, we have used our own delegate to create the event, but Microsoft recommends using event handler delegate to create an event. So let me comment out this delegate and replace this overspeeding delegate by event handler delegate. Let us have a look at this event handler definition. You can see that it is a delegate which returns void, and it has two input parameters, object sender and event arguments E. Event arguments is used to send event data to subscribers. Let us have a look at the definition of event arguments. Just keep in mind that it has a static property called empty. This empty event args is very useful when you are using event handler but the publisher does not have any data to send to the subscriber. Now let us go back to our program. When we fire this overspeeding event, we need to specify the sender and event args. In our case, sender is this class, and let us use the static property of event args dot empty. Now when we subscribe to this event, Our methods need to match the signature of event handler delegate. Let me uncomment this line first. Car overspeeding plus equal to log overspeeding. Now we need to change the signature of this log overspeeding. We need a sender here. Object sender event args e. We have to make same change for this email overspeeding method. Now let us build this and run this application by pressing Ctrl F5. You can see that it is working. Now to show you how to use this sender object when an event is raised, I'll go ahead and overwrite toString method of our car class. Override toString, and we'll always return name. Let me go ahead and change these two methods. Instead of car, I will pass sender object here. I will make the same change in this method. Ctrl F5, and you can see instead of car we have the name of the sender here. Similarly, to show you how to use event args, I will go ahead and create a class called overspeed event args. Public class overspeeding event args. This class will inherit from event args, and I will create a property called speed here. Let me also create a public constructor which takes speed as input argument. And speed is equal to speed. Instead of empty event args, let us use this overspeeding event args. New overspeeding event args, and speed will be the speed of car. And instead of this event handler, we have to use the generic version of the event handler. And to access this speed property of our overspeeding event args, we have to change this event args also to overspeed event args. Now I can go ahead and use the speed property of our overspeed event args in my log and email method. Current speed is e.speed. Let me add a 2-second delay here and change the speed again. Thread.sleep 2000. Let's change the speed of the car to 75. Ctrl F5, and you can see that along with the message, the current speed of the car is also logged. Events sometimes can be hard to understand. If you have any doubts, please leave your questions in the comment section, and thank you for watching.